Hello everyone and welcome to Decorating with Barbara. In today's video, I'm going to share a complete kitchen tour. I'm going to share a simple update in the kitchen and I'll share some tips on decorating a small space. So let's start here with a simple update. So if you saw my last video, you saw where I did a simple update to the hutch on the other side of the kitchen. And so today I'm going to do another update to this side. I'm going to paint it all out one color so that it looks like a hutch. Now, if you are familiar with some of my other videos, then you know this is where I keep my TV. But today, after I do a simple update, I'm going to style it for its intended purposes. Okay, so this is the outcome. And so I kept the doors off the top portion, but I styled the bottom half as a dry bar. This is the reverse side of the cabinet that you see in the living room that sits next to the fireplace. I'm going to put the doors back on the living room side because we do need that barrier to keep the noise down between the two rooms. And so this is the living room side. And like I said before, we generally keep our TV here, but today I want to style it as a dry bar. Now, it used to be a wet bar and it used to be a pass-through to the living room, but my husband put up this little faux wall to make the separation between the two rooms. So after the video, it will go back to a TV cabinet, but I just wanted to share it with you because I think it looks so pretty. And if I can find something different to do with the TV, I will definitely bring it back to its original state. I also wanted to share with you my little idea that I had for water bottles when you have guests over. So I just took a regular water bottle, took the label off, and then I had these little tags from years ago from Target Dollar Spot. They are just little tags, little chalkboard tags. And you can just place someone's name on it. That way they can keep up with their water. I think when you're decorating a small space, starting with a neutral color palette is a great way to go. So you guys know that I don't live in a brand new home with a large open floor plan. My hearth room is open to the breakfast area and then to the main kitchen, but it is rather small. So it was important for me to start out with neutral cabinets, and then my wall color is a very light and neutral color. It's Revere Pewter by Benjamin Moore. And then even my fireplace, when I first moved in, it was a brick red, and so painting it out into this neutral color that matches the rest of my cabinetry just helped to open up the space. I used neutral curtains as well as a neutral light colored dining set. Now, the elephant in the room, of course, is the refrigerator, and I just haven't taken the time to replace it. But it's coming, guys, it's coming. But it doesn't bother me, so I think adding all the lighter colors around it just helps me to not even worry or be bothered with the fact that it's black. So not only is my table in a light color, but I went ahead and added light seating as well. I have light seating over here in the hearth area. And then I have a neutral colored sofa that is in light gray. Now, because it wasn't practical to get a light colored sofa, I went with the gray and then I added light colored pillows. And that just helps to bring in the lighter tone, but it's more practical to have the darker color in gray since we are back here in the kitchen. And this is the heart of the home, so we get a lot of traffic back here. Now, trust me, I have used other colors in my home, but the neutral color palette is the one that made my home feel so much larger and brought me so much peace as I'm in my home. Statement vases. Everyone's talking about a statement vase. Now, if you live in a small space, a statement vase may not be the thing for you. Most people like to see the statement vase on the island, but if that takes up your visual space to have a large oversized vase on your island or peninsula, maybe you can go with something with a smaller statement. Save your larger statement vase for maybe your table, where it's off to the side and out of the way, or even on a corner pedestal. And so if you guys are interested in different ideas on how you can decorate your island or peninsula in a small space, leave me a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. In a small space, I don't like to see tall things interrupt your visual space. So if your island is placed in the center of your home, maybe go with a lower arrangement where you can see all the way to the back wall, making your space feel visually larger. Now, another thing that you may consider for a small space is using your island for eating. If you have guests and you need extra seating, sometimes you can use the island for extra seating for your guests. When my whole family is here, we usually let the guests sit at the table, and many times my husband and I will sit here at the island, or we'll take the bar stools and pull them up to the table. And no, I do not keep the settings on the island for everyday use. I do put them away, and if we need, I'll bring them out at the time of need. And so it does help to have a table with round edges, because you can push more seats into that area as opposed to a table with corners. And the same thing applies here in the seating area. Having this small round table as opposed to a rectangle table or a square table, this round table will give you more space to move around. A storage ottoman is nice to have in your area because it also serves as extra seating, or I can store a throw, or I like to store my purses when I have guests. Lighting. Now, in a small space, lighting is key. I like to make sure my light fixtures are open and airy so that I can get the maximum amount of light showing through the home. And I also like to use daylight bulbs. Now, I know they're not very popular for most people, but if you live in a small space and if your home is dark, I'm telling you, daylight bulbs is your friend. Now, many people say they give off a blue cast, but it just depends on where you purchase them from. I get most of my daylight bulbs from Home Depot. I think it's the EcoSmart brand, and they have the best light for me. Walmart has them, but I do not like the lighting that Walmart gives off. It's more of a blue tint, and so if you are in need of a brighter space, you might consider a daylight bulb. That's what I have throughout my home because it's a darker home. The rooms are more closed off, and I just feel like it opens up the space and gives me a more brighter look in my home, and it makes it appear brighter and larger. In your small space, you do want to keep your furniture size appropriate. So here in my seating area, I went with a love seat and 2 small chairs. Now I could have used a full-size sofa, but it would have taken up a lot of visual space, and I wanted the space to appear smaller and still have function. So I decided that a love seat was the best choice for the space. Over decorating. Now, if you live in a small space, you want to be very careful about over decorating. I know we love to go to Home Goods and pick up beautiful home decor, but switch out your home decor from time to time, bringing in some of your favorite pieces seasonally. Now, I recently went to Home Goods and picked up these beautiful travertine beads, and I love seeing them out. But if I want to have them on the table, I'm going to have to take something away. And I probably will take away the candle snuffer. And don't be afraid to switch out your decor when you're tired of it. So I would say if you're in a small home and you wanted to have a larger, brighter appearance, start with a neutral color palette. And neutrals don't always have to be grays and creams. There's so many other colors that you can use that are considered neutral, but they're just soft in their tone. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing how I decorated my small space, and I hope some of the tips were helpful. Leave me a comment if you like more small space decorating tips and ideas, and I hope you will join me back here next week for another video. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.